Right, morning folks, welcome back to Yorkshire Outdoors and Survival. So Friday morning, Friday the 9th of October 2025. Just coming out in the woods this morning to do an unboxing of my new Tigris Rocdomus Hammock tent. Now do you remember back in March this year I brought the Muktio TP style hot tent. I was and bitching about it. It wasn't very good, it was too short, blah blah blah. So we got rid of that, sent it out to a charity shop and then waited for several months. And I said we got the Tigris Rocdomus Hammock tent, which I'm here to unbag. Let's do that right now. Okay, so before we do the initial setup then, let's just see what we get inside the pack. I've never seen one of these before. I've seen many things on YouTube about it. Now one thing I have heard, that once you've taken it out of this stuff sack, you ain't getting it back in. I'm not too worried about that at the minute. And also, these things are huge. So it comes with instructions inside the pack here. So there you go, instructions inside the pack. I don't need instructions. Basically it's just an oversized tarp with doors and walls. So let's break it out and see what it's all about. The Tigris Rocdomus Hammock hot tent. So inside we've got a bag of goodies, some straps on the end, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's just see what's in the goodie bag. Now I've also heard that they don't, Tigris never give you enough pegs. There's about like 14 or like 20 tie-up points plus on this. They only give you 14 pegs and you need at least 24 plus pegs. So we've got, what we got? We've got some ridge line for tie-outs. So, sorry, let me get up to the camera to see that. So we've got ridge line for tie-outs. What else we got? More ridge line. Lots of ridge line. That's all right because I've got my own as well. I'll use theirs. It's these cheap stakes that they always give you, the ground stakes. Never very good. So you get 14 of these apparently. The cheap ones that probably will cut your hands in winter. So you get 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14. So 14 of those stakes there. I bring my own anyway, so that's fine. You get a little sack to put them in. Anything else in there, that's an empty sack for that one. So that's all your guidelines. That's your hammock, your Rocdomus hot tent. Let's get it set up and let's see what it's like inside. Okay, so this particular Tigris hammock hot tent weighs in at 6 pounds, or just over 6 pounds. It's 11 and a bit foot long, 7.5, 8 foot wide, 6 and a bit or 6.5 feet tall. Now my first problem is how do they expect you to connect it to a tree with just these bits on the end of it? What I do, I set up my ridge line and I'll ridge line it to the tree my way. So it's got a hole there, so I could put a toggle through it. So I think we'll do it that way. There's no way that alone is going through a tree. So I'll use my ridge lines. Okay, so the first problem is finding trees that are wide enough. You're going to need about a 13 foot, 14 foot gap. I've got about 12 foot gap, but that's the first part. I've had to jimmy rig it with jungle knots and toggles in their eyelet part because it's just easier that way. So he's messing about. I've got it up as high as I can. Still could go a bit higher, but it'll do. That's the initial setup on that part. Now you've got to peg out the sides. The bottom part first. There's 5 tie-up points on the bottom, 5 tie-up points on the center, and that's on both sides. Then the end tie-up points. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can do that. Right, and there we are. There's the initial setup. So as I said, there's 10 tie-up points, 5 at the bottom, 5 in the middle. I've just put out the 3 in the middle for now because I haven't put all their string on it. It's the same on the other side. I'll walk you around and then we're going to take a look at that stove jack before we go in. Okay, around the back side I actually have a tree in the way at the minute. One more thing to show you before I show you that stove jack though is, so there's 2 doors here. You've got some ventilation, and underneath here you have a separate zip at the top which allows you, there's a gap there which allows you to put your hammock straps through. Very nice, before you get down to the initial door, which you can then pin out. Again, same on the other side, plenty of ventilation, not too much. Again, a little YKK zipper here, there's a gap here again to put your hammock strap through. Then the main door zip just here. Let's take a look at that stove jack, which is just on the corner here somewhere. Okay, hoping you can see all this. So the stove jack is just here. Just pull it up a little bit. Comes with the stove jack fitting. Yeah, that's right there. Some people, well actually everyone says the same thing. I wish they had left the hole closed so you can cut it, the exit yourself, so you don't get so much water in there. So what you do is just roll that flap up. There's the stove hole. We're not using that today. So there's a tie-off toggle system at top here. That looks all right. So I've used nearly all of their stakes to peg this out, and about 10 of mine as well. Right, let's get inside and see what space we have. So as with most of these tents now, you can open doors, roll them up and tie them back on a toggle point. Let's take a look inside. Damn, there is a shitload of room in here. Right, so let's see if I can get in there and stand up. I know I can already. Let's just take a look inside there. I left a gap at the bottom, obviously, for now. But there we go. Right, so you got your vent. One end. People do say there's not enough ventilation in these things for when you've got the stove jack, the stove on and stuff. Your stove goes over here. And as I was saying, there's this zipper at the top here with a gap, which allows you to put your hammock in. There is loads of space in here, tons. So if it's 11 foot long, 8 foot wide and 6 and a bit feet tall, that's perfect for me. Much better than that old one I used to have. So you could get quite easy and quite comfortably, without the stove, you could get 2 cots in here. 2 cot beds, probably even a third one, even 2 or 3 ground dwellers without the stove, obviously. And chairs, table, probably even a dog if you had one. Oh, I'm bloody loving it already. I'm going to put the hammock in here, see how it feels with the hammock in it. Just put the hammock straps on the tree so I can pass them through this zip here. And I'm going to put the hammock up because I want to see what it feels like with the hammock inside it, which is why I got it in the first place. I think I may have just found the one. So that's there, ready to go. Let's get that hammock inside. Okay, so we're on the hammock. So this tent is bloody awesome. I can stand up in it, I can move around it. There's so much room in here. So I got the tent just slightly this way because I wanted the hammock as close to this back wall as possible, because the stove jack is just off to my right, which means the stove would be here. I'm on uneven ground at the minute, so it's like a slope and flat and slope and flat. But it works perfectly. Now, as I said, this tent has a secret weapon, which it does. So not only could you use it for a hammock camp, and a cot, 2 cots without the hammock, 3 ground dwellers, maybe 2 cots or 2 ground dwellers and a chair, or a couple of chairs and a table, and possibly the hot stove if you move a few bits around. But the secret weapon is it's this side. You can flip it up and it turns into an awning, so you can have a lean-to with a porch, and you could still have the stove on at the back if you needed to. What an awesome idea. Now I know there's been problems with one Tigris in the past. I've seen all the reviews. This one got quite a good review, quite good ratings, 4.5 stars. There's another version called the one Tigris and one Tigris Tigman, which is just slightly different to this one. It's slightly smaller. This one's more versatile, which is why I went for this one. 125 quid. Okay, it's a bit much, but it does the job. You can do so much with this that you possibly might not be able to do with the Tigman. The Tigman is £169. I didn't want to pay that much. With this one, it's a little bit less and does 2 or 3 times more than what that one could do. But yeah, I've got to say I'm well impressed with this. Well impressed. So the only downside I can see to this so far, actually there's 2. One is the weight, 6.5 pounds I think it is, which is an extra 6.5 pounds that you've got to carry in your hands or on your person, in your rucksack, your burden, whatever. And because it's only a single skin tent, this is the catch. It's only a single skin tent, which means you're going to get condensation, especially if you've got the stove in there, which is probably the idea for the 2 vents and the doors at each end. But other than that, it's a bloody lovely tent. I can't fault it. Right, so just off the initial walk around just there, my final thoughts on this tent then. It's absolutely awesome. It's 70, or is it 70D or 700D? I think it's 70D RIPSTOP nylon fabric. Waterproofing, I think it's 2,000 millimeters, maybe 3. I haven't read anything yet. I'm just going from what I remember. And yeah, it's a bloody awesome tent slash hot tent slash ground dwelling tent. Wow, I can't wait to get out here during the winter and use it. So I've just ordered a camping cot bed as well. because not only will I be doing hammock in here, I will be doing some cot bed sleeping in here. You've got to try everything once. So yeah, right, we'll leave you with that then. So that's the one Tigris Rocdomus hot camping tent from Amazon. Absolutely 5 out of 5. Well done. The only qualms are the condensation, which I know we're going to get. You get that in all single skin tents anyway, other than leaving doors open, and they're crappy pegs. But I'll use mine. I'll get some more, which is the ones that I've got from the OAX Bobcat 110. Right, I'm loving this tent. I'm going to stay here for 5 minutes. Right then, folks, so that's the one Tigris Rocdomus hot hammock tent then. So if you like content like this, please consider subscribing, sharing, liking. Don't forget to give the videos a thumbs up, because there's plenty of camps to come now that I've got this. Right, so enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your weekend, take care, stay safe. I'm out of here.